Wednesday, February 10th. There is the closing bell, guys. With the S&Ps down about 1 point, we're closing near even on the day. We're seeing a little pop in the final minutes of trade. However, overall, this market is having a hard time getting it together. Will we slide into tomorrow? Let's dive right in, break this market down, and then go over the top trending stocks of the day. We take a look at the night session, and it was a trend day up for the most part, seeing some pops throughout the night. And it wasn't until 8:30 we saw a pop from the inflation rate number. However, that didn't last long as we opened up and we just tumbled very hard, only to fall to the midline on the week. When we cruise to the SPX, you can just see 38.86. We came just 2 points shy off that midline and we bounced off of that. We can see right now that the ES is closing flat on the day, up 0 points. We look at the bigger picture here on a daily. We put in an all-time high in the pre-market. However, look at this volume today. A lot of people got out of some positions after seeing like 7 days in a row up. What do you expect? A down day is all right. Let's cruise on over and take a look at the NASDAQ. Taking a look at the NASDAQ on a daily, it too put an all-time high in. Look at the volume though. We look at it intraday. The NASDAQ looks very similar to the S&P 500 here. Now, when we compare this to our Big 5, today the Big 5 was down 0.2%. So it's about in line with the NASDAQ, even when you have a Tesla down 5%. Now, Tesla's not in the Big 5. However, it's in the S&P as well as the NASDAQ. The S&Ps are still closing just down 1 point. So that's pretty impressive if you ask me, seeing Tesla down and our Big 5 down about 0.2%. The market's holding it together. Let's cruise on over and take a look at the small caps. Taking a look at the Russell 2000, it too put an all-time high in. However, we're getting a red day. The Russell has been on fire, and on a year to date, it's up over 17%. So it's all right to see some selling here, but the volume is what's scaring me. We look at it on an intraday. Looks very similar to our other charts. We got smacked around 10, and we just spent the rest of the day trying to recover. Now, when we take a look at some of our sectors, today we see the energy sector was up close to 2%. So energy is on fire despite what's going on around it. What else was up? Well, communications were up, but that's largely due to Facebook and Google that were up on the day. They play a big role in this part, but the volume's quiet. How does other sectors look? Well, financials are flat on the day. So we can see the financials aren't rolling over, but they could be in the midst of rolling here, putting in a potential double top. This will be something to keep our eyes on. And then we see technology sector down 0.15%. You see software was our worst performer on the day, down over 1%, which put a lot of stress on our small caps. So with our equities relatively weak today, how did the bonds shape up? Taking a look at the 30-year, it was up 0.34%. Seeing a nice little pop, the volume's upticking. Now at 167 level, played a solid floor. Can we trend higher when we look on a volume profile? Can we get to this 169 level? I don't know. It's going to take a pullback in the market to get there. Otherwise, the bonds, I feel, are just going to be shuffling around. For the most part, nothing really to see here in the bond market. Let's move on over and take a look at our volatility index. Taking a look at the VIX futures, they are even on the day. We're seeing some volume uptick when we look at it intraday. VIX got a nice pop, but it came right back down as the market reversed, and now it's selling off in the final minutes of trade. We look at the VVIX, however, the VVIX is telling us the opposite. It's bidding up in the final minutes of trade, and I said yesterday, volatility looks relatively cheap. Sitting at a 115 in the VVIX, we're pulling back a little bit. It's still a good time to get into some VIX plays. You can see the VIX was up 1.9%. It's sitting at 22, so volatility for the most part seems to be on the floor. You can get some cheap volatility as protection if we are to see some selling in the coming days. Let's move on over and take a look at the dollar and see how our commodities broke down. Taking a look at the dollar index, it too is flat on the day, so we're seeing a lot of flat across the board. You can see the dollar, after getting a nice rally, coming back down, could be on a short-term pause before proceeding back down. We know stimulus is going to be coming this year, so it makes no sense for the dollar to strengthen, but we don't know what's going to happen in between. And when we take a look at some of our commodities, crude oil today was up 0.15%, putting in an all-time high, 52-week that is. However, could this be time for a red day? Could we potentially be seeing some pulling, maybe drop back down to 56? It just ticked red right when I said that. Potentially, crude oil could be pulling back. How did gold do? Well, gold was up 0.3%, $6 for the most part. Metals not going to be doing much. We see silver down 1%, but I don't expect these metals to move until the stimulus deal is inked and the people get their money. And how did Bitcoin do today? Well, Bitcoin down 6% after having an amazing run. It's seeing some profit taking and people are selling. This is a shakeout of weak hands. How strong are your hands? Are you going to sell your Bitcoin? Did you buy at 48K and now you're freaking out? Bitcoin is going to be volatile, guys. However, the bigger picture, you have to look further out. I see Bitcoin being a lot higher than it is right now in the next year. So even though we're down by these dips, they're great buying opportunities to scaling into a position. There you have it for the stock market breakdown. Now today the market was relatively weak. We can't expect going higher day in and day out, and a red day is all right to see every now and then. Do we continue into tomorrow? That's the question, but ultimately it just seems to me these dips get bought right back up because this market knows we have a Federal Reserve that is going to be printing cheap money, which means you got to put your money in equities. So if you can find some bargain deals on great tickers, why not take a shot and add to some positions? Other than that, I'm not seeing any big news on tomorrow's tape. Keep in mind, it's only a 63-point move in the SPX, so we're not expecting some wild moves this week. Still not hearing any word on stimulus, but let's move on over and take a look at some of the trending tickers of the day. And coming in at number 2, Sundial Growers Inc. Sundial today was up 78% with a market cap of $4.4 billion on a year-to-date. Sundial's up 436%. Now, I talked about Sundial yesterday, and it was near the top of the trending list on Yahoo Finance, so here it is again today. Volume has doubled from yesterday, and it's just erupting higher. Now, what does Sundial do if you're new? Well, it engages in the production and distribution of flower, pre-rolls, and vapes. It operates through the following segments: cannabis, ornamental flowers, and corporate. So it's a cannabis stock, guys, and cannabis has been on fire the last 2 days. Now, it appears that Reddit is targeting these cannabis stocks, and you're just seeing that volume is just insane here. Now, I'm not seeing any specific news on Sundial today. However, we're seeing some positive catalysts out of Canopy and Tilray that had some pretty good news come out of it. So the whole sector seems to be trending higher. You just take a look at it on the intraday, and it was just a beautiful trend day up, hitting $3.04. Let's throw this on an expected move. We are expecting about 30 cents this week, so a 10 sigma move is going to be around $4.03. So that's still a dollar from here, but who knows how this market is going to move. We're sitting a little bit above a 6 standard deviation move at $2.87, so take 30 cents and keep marching it from that $1.13. But if we see another update tomorrow, look for around the $4 level to give it some stress, potentially pulling back. But ultimately, on the bigger picture, when you look at this thing on a monthly, this can easily get back to double digits. The volume in the past 4 months have just been insane, if you ask me. And Sundial is a cheap stock that gets you some exposure to cannabis. Coming in at the top trending stock today goes to Tesla Inc. Today's Tesla was down 5.25% with market cap of $772 billion on a year-to-date. Tesla is up 10%. So Tesla's still having a good year. However, seeing some selling today. Now, what does Tesla do? If you don't know, well, Tesla designs, develops, manufactures, and sells EV, designs, manufactures, installs solar generation, and energy storage products. They recently had just bought $1.5 billion in Bitcoin, which is a small percentage of the pie in terms of their market cap. So Bitcoin down today doesn't help this stock. However, it's seeing some other news today that are driving it down on other EV competitions, as well as China regulators saying that they must strengthen their internal management and abide by the China laws. It's not the best thing you'd like to see out of Tesla with Bitcoin down after just buying it. Tesla is seeing some down, but Tesla has been resilient to say the least. Now, when we throw this on an expected move, we're expecting this week about $55 in Tesla, and would you look at that? We're sitting right near that lower edge at $800 even. So we're just $4 above that. Tesla moves fast, so 800 could be a nice bounce. However, if we do break that, 750 should play a 2 standard deviation move. And if we do get to 750, I'm expecting that to be a very sharp bounce higher, because Tesla's a stock that you don't want to mess around with when it comes to shorting. So keep your eyes on this 800 level. If we break it tomorrow, look for 750 and buy that level with confidence. There you have it for the top trending tickers of the day. Did you get a chance to watch any of these guys? If not, what are you guys looking at going into tomorrow? I'd love to hear what you guys are trading. And if you watched this far, guys, I appreciate it when you hit the thumbs up button. It means a lot to me when you guys show some support. And if you're watching for the first time, do these every single day. Show some love. Hit that subscribe button. It will really make my day seeing my sub count go up by just one. Take the extra second. Click the button. It'll really mean a lot to me, guys. Other than that, any comments, questions, feedback, leave it down below and I'll get back to you. On that note, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Have a great night. Take care. Peace.